Hello fellow G fans, this is Godzilla Fan 64 here with another toy review. Now, it has been quite a while since I did a toy review. My last one was, of course, the Predator. I've just kind of had some stuff going on projects, not YouTube projects, just school projects, and also just some personal stuff, but anyway, I'm going to start doing reviews pretty often again, and yeah, so here is my review of Alien Zetton. Now, this is, of course, one of Ultraman's main villains, probably third or fourth, you know. Of course, Balton is first, Gamora, yada yada yada. But yeah, it's a really interesting monster. So let's get into the review. First we'll go with articulation. It has 3 points, but I'm surprised the waist didn't move. The arms rotate 360 just like that. And the head rotates. It's pretty stiff though. One thing I want to complain about on this figure is the arms. I know this is going to sound, really nitpicky, but I just don't like the way they're always spread out like that. If you try to, make them like that, it just looks awkward. That looks pretty good, I guess, if you're trying to make them give someone a hug, but yeah. Next, let's go over detail. This figure is actually pretty detailed. The sculpt itself is actually from 1988, and it actually hasn't been resculpted since then, except for the X Plus one. Hang on, let me adjust my camera. There we go. But yeah, for an old sculpt, has some pretty nice detail. Has all these little bumps on the back. This area right here is really nice and detailed. Legs are a bit stubby. Yeah. This is going to be a short review because there's really not much to say about this figure. The antennas look good. Paint job looks pretty good as well. He's mostly black. I just wish, like Ultraman Chrono said, I just wish they would have painted these dots. But they do have a pretty nice texture. I wish this wasn't white, but a fairly light shade of gray. And they are ridged. Hang on, let me lower the brightness. And that's too dark. There we go. I just wish they would have made the shade on the arms and legs a bit darker. His nipples, I don't know, and his little face thing looked pretty good too. And of course he doesn't have any eyes. So let's get into history. I'm only going to go over the one from the first Ultraman, and he has a pretty short history. So the Science Patrol gets reports that an alien invasion is happening. Big surprise. Excuse me. So anyway, the aliens come and they bring Zetton. After they introduce Alien Zetton, which is actually a human-sized, I don't know, it looks a lot like an Exilian. But anyway, so he actually manages to defeat Ultraman. Something that several, lots and lots of other monsters in the series couldn't even get close to doing, but, and he's actually taken down by humans, which is pretty embarrassing on Ultraman's part. Like, he got defeated by Zetton, and he was killed by one rocket from humans. That's pretty sad. But anyway, yeah, large meaty chunks rain down on the humans. And of course, he's from the final episode of the original Ultraman series. But he would appear a lot in other series, like Ultraman Max and Mobius. So yeah, that's basically his entire history, and yes, I know I suck at doing histories, explaining it, but yeah. Let's go into size comparisons. First, let's size him up with Ultraman. This is okay, but Zetton was probably around that tall. So yeah, should be a bit taller. Next, let's size him up with Gamora. This looks pretty good because Gamora was fairly short in the original Ultraman. So. Next, let's size him up with Alien Balton. Yeah, pretty good. Should have been a bit taller, maybe around there. But Balton's a pretty big figure anyway, so. And one last one, size him up with a new figure I got, Antlar. This looks pretty good because Antlar was, like Gamora, pretty short in the series, but she'll be maybe around that tall. So, yeah. Wow, this was a short review, about 6 minutes. Final thoughts, I give him an 8 out of 10. He has actually, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He has pretty good size comparisons, an okay paint job, nothing spectacular, mostly because he's only 3 colors. So, even in the show, he's only 3 colors. Although, I do like the highlights on his nipples, whatever you call those. Detail is pretty good. Hands look like oven mitts. Do not like that, forgot to mention that. Articulation, meh. He's a humanoid, I know. Articulation's gonna suck, but yeah. Well, thanks for watching this review, and just a spoiler, my next review will be the 1972 Gigan. So, I'll see you in a few days. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.